Ladies and gentlemen, education is not merely about acquiring knowledge. It is about developing wisdom. And wisdom teaches us to look beyond what our eyes can see. If there is one truth we must grasp in our journey of life, it is this: every person we meet is engaged in a battle we may never know. Some battles are visible: financial struggles, family breakdowns, or academic pressures. But others are hidden deep within: battles of self-doubt, anxiety, loneliness, and silent suffering. You see, people may smile on the outside while carrying burdens that weigh them down. A student struggling with self-worth, a teacher trying to inspire while dealing with personal loss, a friend who seems strong but is fighting silent fears. All around us, there are warriors in unseen battles. And so what does wisdom demand? It demands that we become agents of kindness. A kind word, a listening ear, a helping hand, these are not small acts, they are lifelines. Just as water revives a withering plant, kindness revives the human soul. When you show kindness, you are not just helping another person, you are shaping a culture of care, understanding, and healing. The greatest mark of an educated mind is not how much knowledge one possesses, but how one applies that knowledge to elevate others. True education teaches us to lead with empathy, to inspire through encouragement, and to leave a legacy of kindness wherever we go. Today, I urge you to live with a new perspective. Before you judge, consider that the person next to you may be carrying a burden you cannot see. Before you speak harshly, remember that your words have the power to either uplift or break a soul. And before you walk away, choose to extend kindness. It costs nothing, but could mean everything to someone else. Let us build a world where kindness is not a rare virtue, but a daily practice. Because when we choose kindness, we do not just change a moment, we change lives. Life is a journey filled with countless experiences, emotions, and challenges. While we may see the smiles, the laughter, and the apparent successes of those around us, what we often fail to recognize is the silent battles they are fighting. Every person, regardless of their age, status, or background, carries struggles that are not always visible to the outside world. These struggles come in different forms. Some are physical, some are emotional, and others are deeply spiritual. Yet, because they are not always spoken about or displayed, we mistakenly assume that people are free from difficulties. One of the most deceptive aspects of life is that struggles are not always obvious. A student sitting in a classroom may appear attentive, but inside they may be dealing with the fear of failure or the burden of expectations from family and society. A teacher may be inspiring young minds, yet at the same time, they might be dealing with personal losses or financial troubles. A businessman may appear successful, yet inside he may be battling loneliness, depression, or the pressure to maintain his status. These silent struggles exist in every home, every workplace, and every corner of society. Many of these battles are hidden because people fear being judged. Society often celebrates strength and success but discourages vulnerability. This creates an environment where people feel the need to suppress their pain, wear a mask, and pretend everything is fine. In reality, the person who laughs the loudest may be covering deep sorrow, and the one who always helps others may desperately need help themselves. The truth is, everyone is fighting something, but not everyone feels safe enough to share their struggles. Financial struggles are among the most common yet most unspoken battles. A parent may be struggling to provide for their children while appearing strong in front of them. A young adult may be burdened with student loans and the uncertainty of the future while pretending to have everything under control. These financial difficulties can lead to stress, anxiety, and even feelings of hopelessness. Yet, people often choose to suffer in silence because admitting financial struggles is sometimes seen as a sign of weakness. Beyond finances, there are emotional battles that many fight daily. The burden of losing a loved one, the pain of rejection, the trauma of past experiences. These emotional wounds are often invisible but deeply impactful. A person sitting next to you may be grieving but unable to express their pain. Someone may be feeling abandoned or unloved, even in the midst of a crowd. The weight of emotional struggles can lead to mental health challenges such as depression, anxiety, and self-doubt. Yet society has not always been compassionate enough to understand these silent battles. Then there are the battles of identity and self-worth. In a world that constantly pressures people to look, act, and achieve in certain ways, many struggle with feelings of inadequacy. A young person may compare themselves to others on social media and feel like they are not good enough. A professional may feel they are falling behind in their career despite working tirelessly. The battle of self-worth is one of the most silent yet destructive struggles, because it affects how people see themselves and how they interact with the world. The spiritual battles are just as real as the physical and emotional ones. Many people struggle with questions about their purpose, their faith, and their place in the world. They may be wrestling with doubt, fear, or the guilt of past mistakes. Even those who appear strong in their faith may have moments of struggle where they feel distant from God or uncertain about the path they are walking. These spiritual battles are often unseen, but they shape the way a person thinks, feels, and lives their life. Because struggles come in so many forms, it is important to understand that every person we meet is carrying something we may not be able to see. Just because someone does not talk about their pain does not mean it does not exist. Just because they seem to be doing well does not mean they are free from worries. This is why kindness, patience, and understanding are so crucial. Before making assumptions about others, we must remind ourselves that we do not know their full story. The co-worker who seems distant may be going through a personal crisis. The stranger who appears rude may be dealing with unbearable stress. The friend who has been quiet may be struggling with something they do not know how to share. If we truly understand that everyone is engaged in a battle, we will become more compassionate, more patient, and more willing to extend grace. Instead of reacting harshly, we will respond with kindness. Instead of judging, we will seek to understand. And instead of assuming the worst about someone, we will choose to believe that they too are doing their best. Life is hard for everyone in different ways. Some battles are temporary, while others last for years. Some are visible, while others remain deeply hidden. But the reality remains the same. Every person you meet is fighting something. The question is, will you choose to make their battle harder by being indifferent? Or will you choose to lighten their burden by showing kindness? Kindness is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It has the ability to transform lives, heal wounds, and restore hope in ways that words cannot always describe. Every human being carries struggles, fears, and burdens, and in the midst of these challenges, a simple act of kindness can make all the difference. Kindness is not just an action. It is a language that speaks to the heart. It has the power to lift someone from the depths of despair and remind them that they are not alone. One of the most remarkable aspects of kindness is that it requires no special skill, wealth, or status. It is something that every person, regardless of their background, can practice daily. A kind word, a helping hand, or even a compassionate smile can be enough to change someone's day. While kindness may seem like a small gesture, its impact is often far greater than we realize. A single act of kindness can set off a chain reaction, inspiring others to be kind in return. This creates a ripple effect that spreads far beyond what we can see. When we choose kindness, we acknowledge the humanity in others. Many people go through life feeling unseen and unheard. They struggle in silence, believing that no one cares or understands their pain. However, when we extend kindness, we send a powerful message. You matter. You are valued. You are not alone. This simple acknowledgement can restore a person's faith in humanity and encourage them to keep moving forward, even in the face of hardship. Kindness also has the ability to heal emotional wounds. Life is full of disappointments, heartbreaks, and losses, and these experiences can leave deep scars on the human soul. Many people carry pain that they do not express, but a gentle act of kindness can serve as a soothing balm to their wounded hearts. Sometimes all a person needs is to be treated with patience and understanding. Even a kind word spoken at the right moment can erase the bitterness of past hurts and open the door to healing. The power of kindness is especially evident in times of crisis, when people are facing difficult circumstances, whether it's sickness, financial hardship, or personal loss. Acts of kindness can provide them with the strength to endure. Something as simple as offering food to a hungry person, listening to someone who needs to talk, or assisting a struggling neighbor can have a life-changing impact. In moments of distress, kindness becomes a light that guides people through their darkest days. Beyond helping others, kindness also transforms the one who gives it. When we practice kindness, we become more compassionate, patient, and understanding. It softens our hearts and allows us to see the world through the eyes of others. Science even supports this. Studies have shown that acts of kindness release chemicals in the brain that reduce stress, improve mood, and increase overall well-being. This means that when we are kind to others, we are also benefiting ourselves. Another profound aspect of kindness is that it transcends barriers. It does not matter what language a person speaks, what culture they belong to, or what religion they follow. Kindness is universally understood. It breaks down walls of division and unites people from different backgrounds. In a world filled with misunderstandings, conflicts, and divisions, kindness serves as a bridge that connects hearts and promotes peace. Many times, people hold back from being kind because they feel their efforts are too small to make a difference. But the truth is, no act of kindness is ever wasted. A kind word can give someone the courage to keep going. A small gesture can restore someone's faith in humanity. Even if we do not see the immediate results of our kindness, we must trust that it is making an impact in ways we may never fully understand. Kindness is not just about grand gestures. It is found in the small, everyday moments. It is in the way we speak to others, in the patience we show to those who frustrate us, and in the willingness to lend a hand without expecting anything in return. It is in how we treat our friends, our families, our co-workers, and even strangers. Kindness does not require perfection, just a sincere heart that seeks to do good. When we practice kindness, we also inspire others to do the same, People remember how they were treated, and when they experience kindness, they are more likely to pass it on to others. This creates a cycle of goodness that extends far beyond what we can see. In this way, kindness does not just change individuals, it changes communities and ultimately the world. At its core, kindness is about seeing beyond ourselves and recognizing that every person we encounter is facing their own battles. It is about choosing to be a source of encouragement rather than discouragement, a source of healing rather than harm. It is about leaving the world a little better than we found it, one act of kindness at a time. True wisdom is not measured by how much knowledge a person acquires, but by how they apply that knowledge to improve the lives of others. Many people assume that wisdom comes from education, experience, or intelligence. But one of the greatest signs of wisdom is the ability to show compassion. A wise person understands that life is not just about personal success, but about uplifting others and making a meaningful impact. Compassion is not merely an emotional response. It is a conscious decision to understand, support, and care for others, even when it is inconvenient. In every society, there are individuals who possess vast knowledge, but lack the heart to use it for the betterment of others. They may be highly educated, well-read, or successful in their fields, yet they fail to show kindness or empathy. On the other hand, a truly wise person recognizes that intelligence without compassion is incomplete. Knowledge allows us to understand facts and concepts, but compassion allows us to connect with people on a deeper level. When wisdom is paired with kindness, it creates an individual who not only understands the struggles of others, but actively seeks to make a difference. Compassion is a sign of wisdom because it requires self-awareness, patience, and emotional intelligence. A person who lacks wisdom may judge others quickly, dismiss their pain, or assume they understand someone's struggles without truly listening. However, a wise person takes the time to understand before making judgments. They recognize that every person has a story, and they approach others with a heart that is willing to listen rather than criticize. This level of understanding requires emotional maturity, which is a key characteristic of true wisdom. Another reason why compassion is a mark of wisdom is that it fosters unity and peace. A society that lacks compassion is filled with division, misunderstanding, and conflict. Many arguments, disagreements, and even wars could be avoided if people learned to see life from another person's perspective. Wise individuals understand this and choose to act with kindness, even in difficult situations. They know that responding with compassion instead of anger or indifference can lead to stronger relationships and more harmonious communities. A wise and compassionate person also understands that no one is perfect, including themselves. They do not hold others to unrealistic standards or become overly critical when someone makes a mistake. Instead, they practice forgiveness and extend grace, knowing that everyone is growing and learning. This is not a sign of weakness, but of great strength. It takes wisdom to recognize that mistakes are a part of life and that people deserve a chance to change, learn, and improve. When leaders, teachers, parents, and mentors show compassion in their guidance, they inspire others to become better versions of themselves rather than pushing them away with harshness. Compassion and wisdom work together in leadership. A truly wise leader is not one who rules with fear or strict control, but one who leads with understanding and care, whether in a family, a classroom, a business, or a nation. A wise leader understands that people perform their best when they feel valued and supported. A compassionate leader listens to their people, considers their needs, and makes decisions that benefit not just themselves, but the entire group. History has shown that the greatest leaders were not just intelligent or powerful, but they were compassionate, guiding their people with wisdom and care. Compassion also allows people to make better decisions. When faced with difficult choices, a wise person does not only think about their own interests, but considers how their actions will affect others. This applies to relationships, business, politics, and even simple daily interactions. A wise person asks, will this decision bring harm or healing? Will it build others up or tear them down? Making decisions with compassion ensures that we act with integrity and leave a positive impact on the lives of those around us. In today's fast-paced world, many people prioritize success, wealth, and achievement over kindness. However, true wisdom reminds us that material accomplishments mean little if they come at the cost of human connection. A person may have all the riches and recognition in the world, but if they lack compassion, they are missing the most important part of life: meaningful relationships. Wise individuals understand that what truly matters is not what we accumulate, but how we treat the people around us. One of the most significant aspects of compassion is that it is contagious. When people witness acts of kindness and understanding, they are more likely to adopt the same behavior. A single wise and compassionate individual can influence an entire community, inspiring others to treat each other with more care and respect. In contrast, when people are treated with harshness, it often creates a cycle of negativity. A wise person recognizes this and chooses to break the cycle by responding with kindness, even when it is undeserved. Compassion is not always easy. It requires humility, patience, and the ability to put oneself in another's shoes. It demands that we look beyond ourselves and consider the needs of others. However, despite the challenges, compassion remains one of the greatest signs of wisdom. It builds bridges where there were once walls, creates peace where there was once conflict, and brings healing where there was once pain. A wise person understands that in the end, it is not what we have that defines us, but how we have treated those around us. A strong and thriving society is not built on competition, isolation, or individual success alone. It is built on a foundation of support, care, and mutual encouragement. When people come together to uplift one another, they create an environment where everyone has the opportunity to grow, succeed, and find fulfillment. A culture of support is not just beneficial for individuals. It strengthens families, workplaces, schools, and entire communities. However, creating such a culture requires intentional effort. It does not happen by accident. It requires individuals to prioritize kindness, understanding, and a willingness to help others in their journey. One of the most important places where a culture of support should be fostered is in the home. Families are the first social environment that people experience, and the lessons learned within the household shape how individuals interact with the world. When children grow up in homes filled with encouragement, patience, and love, they develop confidence and emotional resilience. On the other hand, when a home is filled with criticism, neglect, or indifference, children often carry those emotional wounds into adulthood. Parents, siblings, and extended family members must recognize their role in creating a supportive environment. Simple acts like listening to each other, offering words of encouragement, and showing appreciation can make a home a place of safety and growth. Beyond the home, schools play a critical role in establishing a culture of support. Education is not just about academic learning, It is also about character development and social interaction. A school that promotes kindness, respect, and collaboration prepares students to succeed not only in their careers, but in life itself. Teachers who encourage their students rather than simply pointing out their mistakes create an atmosphere where students feel safe to learn, make errors, and improve. Likewise, when students support and uplift each other instead of engaging in bullying or unhealthy competition, the entire learning experience becomes more positive and enriching. Schools must prioritize emotional intelligence alongside academic excellence, because a truly educated person is not only knowledgeable, but also compassionate. Workplaces are another key area where a culture of support is essential. Many people spend the majority of their waking hours at work, and the environment they experience there significantly impacts their well-being. A toxic workplace filled with negativity, gossip, and lack of encouragement can drain a person's motivation and happiness. However, when a workplace fosters teamwork, mutual respect, and a sense of community, employees feel valued and inspired to give their best efforts. Employers and leaders must recognize that their role is not only to manage productivity, but also to create an environment where employees feel supported. When leaders show empathy, acknowledge hard work, and provide opportunities for personal and professional growth, they cultivate a workplace where people thrive. A culture of support is not limited to structured environments like homes, schools, and workplaces. It should extend into communities as well. A society where people look out for one another is far stronger than one where everyone is only concerned with their own needs. Simple actions such as checking on a neighbor, helping someone in need, or volunteering time to assist others contribute to a culture of care and belonging. When people feel that they are part of a supportive community, they develop a greater sense of security and purpose. They know that if they face challenges, they will not have to endure them alone. This kind of environment reduces feelings of isolation and strengthens the overall social fabric. One of the greatest barriers to building a culture of support is selfishness. Many people focus so much on their own struggles and ambitions that they fail to notice the needs of those around them. However, true success is not measured by personal achievements alone. It is measured by the impact one has on others. A person who reaches great heights but does not extend a helping hand to others has not truly succeeded. Societies must move away from a mindset of individualism and embrace a mentality of collective growth. When one person rises, they should lift others with them. When one person struggles, they should not be left behind. Encouragement and support are not just about big gestures. They are often found in small, everyday actions. A simple word of appreciation, a gesture of kindness, or a willingness to listen can mean the world to someone who is struggling. Many people suffer in silence, feeling as though no one cares or understands their difficulties. But when they experience even a small act of kindness, it can restore their hope and remind them that they are not alone. No one knows what another person may be going through. And that is why a culture of support should be built on consistent kindness rather than occasional acts of charity. Another important aspect of a supportive culture is the ability to celebrate others. Jealousy and envy often prevent people from genuinely uplifting those around them. However, when people learn to rejoice in the success of others rather than seeing it as a threat, it creates an environment where everyone can thrive. Celebrating others does not diminish one's own potential. Rather, it strengthens relationships and builds a sense of unity. A supportive culture is one where people lift each other up rather than compete for attention and recognition. To build a lasting culture of support, People must also learn to be patient with one another. Growth takes time, and not everyone progresses at the same pace. Whether in education, careers, or personal development, people need encouragement rather than pressure. A culture of support acknowledges that setbacks and failures are part of life, but reminds people that they are not defined by their struggles. It replaces harsh judgment with understanding and offers a helping hand instead of criticism. Building a culture of support requires a shift in mindset. It means choosing to see others as allies rather than competitors, valuing relationships over personal gain, and recognizing that collective success is more meaningful than individual achievements. It is about creating an environment where kindness, encouragement, and generosity are the norm rather than the exception. When people commit to lifting each other up, they create a world where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential. Not just a few, but all.